okay? Now, so after working at Vivix Credit Solutions for 15 months, I decided that I needed to get my credit repaired. And I met a gentleman that's kind of like who I am now. He walked in, he was a salesman or a sales manager for a car dealership. And he said to me, as I started to present to him, he said, Mr. Brown, you don't need to say anything to me, just stop. And he said, just show me your credit. And if your credit is something I aspire to have, I'll sign up and pay whatever you want. He said, I'm a closer of closers. I have 100 men that work under me, and I teach them how to sell. So I'm not here to be sold, I'm here to be convinced. And I said, well, sir, you know, my credit isn't quite where it needs to be. He said, shame on you. He said, because if you are here selling something you haven't partaken of, shame on you. And he left. And he pricked me. He pricked me. And so I actually signed up for the service to get my own credit fixed. And now that's why I walk around and I carry about 50 credit cards with me. And this is not to brag, but this is for when I get next to people that wonder, why do you have so many credit cards? I have Blackcards in here. I have all the premium credit cards in here that you would want. And I carry those with me because it's a tool to start a conversation. Okay, so after going through the program at the office, my scores went from a 486 to a 715 and then to an 816. I've had 800 scores since 2009. All right, I was so shocked because when I actually got my credit fixed, I thought that I was cursed. I thought that I couldn't get my credit fixed. I thought that all the people that I was helping get their credit fixed, it was just a fluke that the universe aligned with them and they got theirs fixed. But I felt like the way I had handled my credit, it just wouldn't happen for me. But when this gentleman pricked my spirit, I decided to use my money to invest in what I was saving to influence other people. And when I got my first round of results, back then our credit repair program was 6 months, when everybody else was saying 12 to 18 months to fix your credit. So in 6 months, I was like, I hope this happens. When I got my first investigation results in 30 days, 70% of all my negative items were deleted. My 2 repossessions were almost 100,000. They were deleted. My child support was deleted. Okay, my eviction was deleted, and a bunch of credit cards. I sat down and I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, you know, this really happened for me too. And then I continued through the program, and at the end of the program, I had a 715 credit score. 715. After going through the credit rebuilder part, and allowing, when we take you through our credit repair program, we actually say, these are some accounts you need to open, and we have a friendly creditor list that we send everyone to. And when you open those accounts, they build your credit, because as we're cleaning the old off and you add the new, as the new becomes seasoned, it starts building your credit score. So as the new credit started to build my score, I kept working my credit even more until I got almost 100% deletion. The program yielded me 94% deletion, and I kept working. We have what we call an additional treatment service, where you can pay for 1 additional round. And those 1 additional rounds got me completely clean. And I've had perfect credit since 2009. And I show my credit in the workshops when I do PowerPoints, okay? Now, that is something that in 14 and a half years, credit repair has been a passion, a love of mine, and something that then I started going deeper with. Now, this is the thing that I'm most happy to share with you, is I discovered there were some other mechanisms working in the background that banks, lending institutions, mortgage companies, auto dealers, anyone that was a creditor, they were actually working with some other tools that they were not revealing to the general public. Now, you were aware, hey, all I have to do is work on my FICO based on the pie chart by FICO. 35% of my score is what? Payment history. 30% is what? Amount owed. So if you worked those items on the pie chart, you could positively impact your credit score. But have you ever noticed that you can work on the same job with someone, you've been there longer than them, you live in the same house with them, you share rent, you're friends, and you send that person, or that person goes to apply for credit, and they get approved for 5,000. And what does that do for you? You get inspired, right? If my housemate or roommate could get 5,000, I make the same money. I've been on the job 6 months longer than him. Let me do what? Go apply for that same company. Even if you don't need that service, you still want to have that credit, yes or no?
Right.
So you go there and you apply, and what happens? You get denied, or you may get a $500 limit. What's the first thing you ask yourself when your friend gets 5,000 and you get 500?
Why?
What is that? How did that happen? Right? And I kept hearing all our clients that we were sending to these creditors, the friendly creditor list, I kept hearing them say, I got 500, I got 5,000, I got 3,000. And because I have insight into their lives, I know their business as far as how long they've been on the job, what was the negative notations. I first thought it was what? Racial, right? Right? Because the ones that got the 5,000 or 10,000 were of another nationality, yes or no? But I said, it can't be that. It's gotta be something else. So what I discovered was there's some other reports that are being used in your underwriting and your approval process that you have no clue that are there. Now, if I can spend a couple minutes setting this up, did you remember that FICO at one time, the score would not be given to you by a creditor? Even though you applied, they would say, oh, your score is too low to get approved, but we can't give it to you.
Yeah, you have to.
You have to